Any tiny creative win, that's a celebration, and that will bring you joy. These aren't small things. They're signs that your brain is shifting to a space where you are reaping happiness and health from your creativity. And it is affecting you in heart, mind, body, and soul. Hello, my creative friend. Welcome to the BDI Create Today podcast. This is a podcast where we'll discover the who, what, where, when, why, and how you can be creative or have more creativity. And together we'll explore the extraordinary impact creativity can have in your life, in your heart, mind, body, and soul. And if we haven't met yet, I am Beth Buffington, a licensed artist, digital illustration instructor, and a creative coach living just outside of the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. But mostly, I am someone who is curious about how creativity can weave its way into our lives. Now, each week we're going to look at one or more of the sparkly facets that make up the ever-changing kaleidoscope that is creativity. Hello, my creative friend. Welcome to another episode of Create Today with Beth Buffington. Now, last week, we looked at why creativity feels so good and is so good for you. And we talked about the importance of discovering how and what you might want to create today. We also realized how giving yourself permission to create is going to benefit your brain with some amazing feel-good chemicals that will make you happier and healthier in heart, mind, body, and soul. And that is a win-win. A win for fun and a win for your health and mental happiness. So seriously, my friend, what's not to love about being creative? It is also important to remember that everyone is creative. This isn't a benefit that is only reserved for great artists or musicians and authors. This is a gift from the universe to all people. You just need to have an activity where you are having fun with a creative passion. And it is so much fun that you become totally immersed in what you're doing and time just slips away. We've learned that having so much fun that you lose sense of time is called creative flow. And when you're in flow, that time, it just disappears and you're focused, but you're not stressed. And your skills and your challenge seem perfectly matched and aligned. And you're not second guessing or judging yourself. You're just lost in the doing and you enjoy the joy that you feel as you enjoy the doing of what you're doing. Does that make sense? So today we are going to realize how to make having a creative activity become a habit that you can stick to every day. You see, in order to find the benefits of happiness and health that creativity offers, you need to realize that creativity isn't just a spark that fires off occasionally. Being creative, it needs to be a habit. It needs to be a practice that gently reshapes your brain as you repeat and repeat your creative activity. This repeated activity, well, it is the key that will rewire your brain for creative resilience and joy. So let's talk a little bit about how repetition changes your brain. Doing something repeatedly, that can be defined as a habit. And a habit is doing something we do so often that we almost can't help but to do it over and over and over. We all have habits, and some are good, like brushing our teeth or maybe journaling in the morning or walking our dogs. And some habits, maybe not so good, like biting fingernails or that 3 o'clock snick snack in the afternoon, that little sugar fix we have to have, or doom scrolling on social media. Those are some bad habits. In order to make something become a habit, We have to repeat that action long enough to make it become something that we just do without really having to plan for it. Our brains are wired to learn and change. That's neuroplasticity in action. So this means that we can slowly learn and or unlearn a habit. So today we are going to focus on making creativity a habit. So a key player here inside our brain is the reticular activating system, or RAS. It is our internal filter that tunes us in to what matters and what feels important to us. So when you allow yourself to practice creativity daily, even in small ways, your RAS starts adding creative thoughts and picking up new creative ideas and notions in your life through a variety of ways, like through colors or patterns or solutions to problems, et cetera, et cetera. Your brain becomes attuned to whatever is your creative passion. And that, my friend, changes how you see everything. Now, you don't need a grand plan to have a creative habit. You just need to start and give yourself permission to play creatively daily. And here's a smattering of ideas to get your brain conjuring up thoughts that will fit your creative passion. Maybe you plan to do a morning doodle. So you grab a pen for about 10 minutes and just doodle your thoughts or your to-do list, or you doodle weekly goals. You get the idea. You're going to see just what falls out of your head creatively. And then do this on a regular basis before or maybe during your morning coffee or tea. Here's another idea: creative pairing. Sometimes it helps to start something new when you pair it with something that is already a good habit. Like if you have a walk that you do daily, maybe after your walk, you pair it with a sketch. You quickly make a sketch of something you saw on your walk. Or maybe with a nighttime tea that you always have, you pair it with a journal entry, or you do a doodle for your journal entry. Because when you pair something with something that you're already doing, it helps you remember to add that extra little bit of creativity. Or try a one-word prompt. Give yourself a small creative challenge to look for. It's almost like having a creative scavenger hunt. So choose a word or a color or a shape and let your mind gently respond to that prompt. And you can do this at the beginning of an event or an errand, like when you go to a farmer's market or an antique fair. You'd say to yourself, I'm going to look for round things. Or when you go on vacation or visit a museum, you say to yourself, let's look for things that are green, or whatever your topic might be. This extra creative challenge for your brain will help you seek out that creativity that you might want to collect later for a project. And here is an important fact to remember with your creative time. When you are working on your creativity, the goal isn't perfection, it's presence. You want to be in the moment. Celebrate the doing. The outcome is not nearly as important as the time you spent just doing. Now let's take a quick break and listen to a word from our sponsor. And my friend, that would be me. Are you interested in exploring your creativity with Procreate on your iPad? Get my Kickstart video. It's going to give you a beautiful tour of how to use Procreate to create your own art. You'll get information about brush libraries, layer and layer options, explanations of the tool icons, and so much more. Just go to www.bdi-create.today to get my Procreate Kickstart video. And here's where the riches are found, my friend. Here's what the research shows about having a creative habit that you indulge in over and over and over. As you allow yourself this regular creative practice that turns into a habit, 3 things happen. Number 1, You tap into that dopamine creativity loop that we talked about. You create, that makes you feel good, which makes you want to create more. So then you create, which makes you feel good, which makes you want to create some more. And when you're doing this, you are gifted with all those feel good chemicals. And when you allow yourself the small wins, just doing your creative practice, this will fuel more creativity. And number two, you build new neural pathways in your brain, which is a rewiring in your brain that makes creativity feel easier and more natural, which makes you want to do it again and again. That is that upward spiral. And number three, your brain's RAS, your reticular activating system, well, it starts seeking out creative moments across your day, which again is going to make creating easier and easier and more fulfilling. So, this is where the magic happens. Joy shows up more often because you are creating, and stress melts away because you are creating, and focus sharpens because you are creating. You're literally changing your brain through the consistency in allowing yourself to create. And studies confirm that even a few minutes each day of creating can, number one, lower cortisol, which is that stress hormone. Number two, regulate your nervous system. And number three, build brain resilience and adaptability. So you see, creativity, it's not a luxury, it is self care and therapy. The good news here is having a regular creative practice forms that upward spiral that makes you want to be even more creative. This, my friend, is real science. To feel its benefits for yourself, you only need to give yourself permission to create and then give yourself permission to consistently create. And when you give yourself permission to create this creative habit, here's what you're going to notice. Number one, you will feel more calm and probably more patience. And number two, you'll find creative ideas appear to you in unexpected places and at unexpected times. And number three, you'll realize this growing sense that creating and being creative is truly part of who you are. And number four, you'll discover moments of quiet celebration through a small sketch or a few lines in a journal or a flower that blooms in your garden, something beautifully delicious that you've baked. Any tiny creative win, that's a celebration. And that will bring you joy. These aren't small things. They're signs that your brain is shifting to a space where you are reaping happiness and health from your creativity. And it is affecting you in heart, mind, body, and soul. So, in order to realize these benefits long term, you must create these creative rituals that are sticky. So, as you work to start this daily creative practice that becomes a lasting habit, here are some ideas to deepen your practice to ensure longevity. Number one, anchor it. So, pair your creative time with something that you already do, like journaling or writing with your morning tea or your coffee, or as something that you're going to do as part of your bedtime ritual. Number two, it's easy to just set a timer. Say to yourself, I'm only going to do this for a little while. I just have to do it for 10 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, you can stop, or you might say, oh my gosh, I am so invested in this now. I'm going to keep going, and it will lead to a longer session. But if you hold those first 10 minutes as sacred, it's going to open the doors eventually to added creativity. And number three, remember to celebrate. Let yourself be happy with whatever you've just created, whatever you have just enjoyed. And don't be critical about perfection or compare yourself to others or become impatient with how much farther you really think you should be in order to reach some elaborate goal. A creative practice isn't about reaching goals, it's just about fulfilling that creative health that you're trying to achieve. And that's about enjoying the active doing of your creative practice. When you're doing this creative ritual, it's all about just making stuff, just having fun. So celebrate all the small, tiny things because they matter. Now, I dare you, my friend, to take a moment today and ask yourself, what small act of creativity can I create today? Should I draw, bake, garden, knit, sew, sing, write, embroider? The list of what could be creative is endless. Just remember, no matter what it is you choose to do, enjoy what you do and let yourself just fall into the activity and push away the worries of the day and just play. Those worries are all still going to be there when you're done. But I tell you what, if you let yourself really immerse in the joy, you may find answers to those problems of your day, or you're going to find that maybe they're not as worrisome as you first thought. So find time to play, give yourself permission to play, and then just play, create, enjoy, and repeat daily. Now, if you want guidance starting or deepening a creative habit, get a hold of me and I have ways to help you out. But here's a really super fun and simple way that everyone can start exploring their creativity. I invite you to check out my doodle meditation workshop. Now, this is a really gentle way to build your creative practice and help you find health and happiness through your creativity. You don't have to be a great artist to doodle. In fact, everyone doodles, and the workshop will help you discover your inner doodler. So just go to www.bdi-create.today, and in the drop down menu at the upper right, choose events, and you can register for the Doodle Meditation Workshop right now. I'll also have a link in the show notes. And if you are already creating every day, I want you to share this podcast with someone who's just waking up to their own spark, because every creative voice that shows up and speaks out will light the way for someone else to discover their creative happiness. So remember, my friend, give yourself permission to find the time and then start slow. Allow yourself to mess up. Just make sure that you show up, even if it's for just a little bit every day. Because when you have time to create today, you're not behind, you are becoming. And the gifts you receive by enjoying your creativity, it's going to make you happier and healthier in heart, mind, body, and soul. So what will you create today? Are you going to write a poem, bake a souffle, knit a sweater, repair an engine, compose a poem, write code for an app, make pottery, plant a garden? Whatever creative passion you choose, just make it a habit. And remember that my wish for you every single day is to stay creative, my friend. And now let's take a second to hear a word from our sponsor. And that would be me. When the world feels like a lot, community is a place you need to find. Let me tell you how BDI Create Today is here to provide that extra help and encourage you with your creativity through community. Sometimes creating feels a bit lonely when you are doing it all by yourself. But my friend, one of the best ways to stay inspired and to keep your creativity thriving is to be part of a creative community. It helps you stay accountable to get more done And it's also going to bring new ideas to the table about creative inspiration and techniques and tips that you never thought to try. And this is why I created the Create Today membership. BDI Create Today, it is a safe place where creatives can come to meet and mingle with like-minded creatives to find cheerleaders who are going to support and respect you and your creativity. Inside the Create Today membership, you get inspiration and tips and unique creative ideas to keep your creativity challenged, ignited, and alive, and still happening on a daily basis. So if you're looking for a way to stay creatively energized and break free from the stress spiral of today's world, Create Today is a safe space to land and to grow your creativity. To learn more about the treasures that BDI Create Today has ready to share with you right now, visit www.bdi-create.today and you can become part of this wonderful community that supports the many benefits that creativity provides us today and every day. Because, my friend, it is when we gather together in community that we find ways to cope, we find answers to problems, and we find safety in our numbers. And we discover that we are in this together. But most importantly, you're going to realize the power creativity has to bring goodness in your life, in heart, mind, body, and soul. I am so grateful that you are here. And if you know someone who could benefit from today's message, please share this podcast and take a peek at past episodes to find other treasures about you and your creativity that can add more strength and power to your well-being. Remember, it is important for your overall well-being for you to stay creative, my friend.